Now let's debate. Here are the contestants. Our first debater is an SS3 student at Brookstones High School. He's 15 years old. Ogbonna-Ugwu Chiagozie Isidore. Welcome to I Beg to Differ.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
We have our second debater as well in SS1 at Vic Mob High School. She is 12 years old. Emmanuella Nnadi. Welcome to I Beg to Differ.
Thank you.
Now, the contestants have been told the rules, but here they are again. I'll give you a topic. One of you will be in support. One of you will oppose that topic. You will each first get 2 minutes to present your positions, and then you'll each get another 2 minutes in the rebuttal round to address the points your opponents made. I will judge both rounds based on number, quality, and originality of unique points made. If you repeat a point, your score will not increase. Clarity of thought and eloquence of presentation, number of opponents' points addressed, the strength of your rebuttal of each point. You need to pay attention to that last criteria, the strength of your rebuttal of each point. If your scores are tied by the time we're done with your 4 minutes each, there will be a tiebreaker round. You will switch sides. You'll have 3 minutes to debate in favor of your opponent's position. You'll be scored for all new points you make, which were missed by your opponent, and for new rebuttals to the points that you made earlier on. Now, you already know your topic. Corporal punishment should be criminalized. Now, let's decide who supports and who opposes. I'll start with my right hand side because it's much easier. We've got oppose and support on ballot papers in my hands. I'm shaking them at the moment. Shake, 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 shake. Then you pick Emmanuella and then Chiagozie. Of course, we're streaming this live on Facebook. Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook. Emmanuella heaves a sigh. I don't know if it's relief or tension. Is it relief or tension, Emmanuella? Relief. Okay. All right. So what did you pick? Support. Okay. So we have Emmanuella supporting and we have Chiagozie opposing that corporal punishment should be criminalized. So this is me making my notes. Emmanuella supports and Chiagozie opposes. All right. Lagos, we're streaming on YouTube as well, Nigeria Info FM. We're not going to take calls on this until they are done. So if you have thoughts, if you have comments, share them on social media. WhatsApp 080-959-75805. Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3, which gives you a chance to watch both of them as they do their thing. YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Okay, now it's time for round one, the presentation round. Let's start with the motion supporter and then we'll go to the motion opposer.
Good day, amiable moderator, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debater, and of course my ever-attentive audience. My name is Nnadi Emmanuella Nnadi, a proud and well-disciplined student of Vic Mob High School. I strongly concur that the barbaric and outdated act called corporal punishment should be criminalized. Corporal punishment has a psychological effect on students which degrades their IQ and also erodes the child developmental growth. This also leads to low self-esteem. Corporal punishment has its neurological and it is damaging neurological effect on students, which also compromises their cognitive development and well-being, which leads to increased aggression. Corporal punishment, as stated by the American Academy for Pediatrics, is very ineffective over a long term as it leads to other negative outcomes such as brain changes, declining in verbal ability, anxiety, aggression, and even antisocial behavior. Corporal punishment, I argue today, is very impermissible because it is linked to diminished developmental outcomes in children. I know my opponent is of implicit assumptions that corporal punishment is justified because you are not clear on the difference between discipline and corporal punishment, but that will be stated now. Corporal punishment is just a deliberate act of inflicting pain on someone and also leaving life scars on them. But discipline are moral principles guiding human behaviors. Corporal punishment is also a way of curbing students' excesses. Corporal punishment can also be done in other ways rather than inflicting pains of them. Corporal punishment should not be done on children because it leaves life scars and also makes them regret why they did past things. Corporal punishment gives students the mentality that the only way of getting through things is that is through violence. It increases bullying, because when children see that corporal punishment is applied or imposed on somebody, they try to get their way through their peers just by violence.
Thank you. Your time's up. Thank you. Well done. Put your hands together for her. She's done fantastically well. Well done, Emmanuella. All right, Chiagozie, your time starts now.
Corporal punishment, according to Britannica, is the infliction of pain upon a person's body for a crime committed. Did you hear that? A crime committed. Proverbs 13 verse 24 says that if you beat your son with a rod, you hate him. But if you love him, you will be diligent to discipline him. Beating with a rod is obviously corporal punishment. The good day, moderator, judges, timekeeper, co-debater, and audience listening all over Lagos and the world. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ogbonna-Ugwu Chiagozie, a proud student of the prestigious Brookston's Best Spring High School, and I'm here to stand my ground and proudly oppose the motion that says that corporal punishment should be criminalized. Humans, by birth and from nature, are stubborn and rebellious and can only be put to check if they are aware that they have an awaiting punishment for any crime committed. Mothers can explain this better. When you have a baby and you're feeding that baby, breastfeeding, what do I mean by breastfeeding, and the baby bites you, what do you do to correct the baby? You spank the baby and the baby stops immediately. This definitely means that corporal punishment is done even on babies who know nothing. Now, let me move to this angle. Corporal punishment, if criminalized, will make people see reasons to commit more because they feel there is nothing hard that will be done on them due to the fact that the corporal punishment has been criminalized. Corporal punishment, according to the Bible, is known as the rod of correction, and is simply love with discipline, or love with an iron hand, so to speak. That means that corporal punishment is different from physical abuse. A corporal punishment is entirely different from physical abuse, and that is why the government is trying to criminalize it, but it's clearly different. Spoil the rod and spare the child, or spoil the child and spare the rod. Ray Guarendi, a doctor of the Children's Hospital, says that 70% of the high-performance students and employees were trained under corporal punishment when they were children. Let me remind you that the difference between disciplined children of then and the mannerless children of now is the reduction in corporal punishment use. All religions of the world, mostly the major religions, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus, Judaists, traditional worshippers, all strongly believe in corporal punishment and believe it is spiritually effective. Proverbs 23 verse 13 to 14 says that if you do not, beating your son will not make him die. Therefore, you will beat your son and deliver his soul from hell. By the way, I strongly support that corporal punishment should be regulated but not criminalized. There are other ways of doing things to avoid physical abuse. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well done. Good job. If you just tuned in, you're listening to I Beg to Differ, the student debate tournament. And I have on the show with me today two fire debaters. Chiagozie Isidore Ogbonna-Ugwu is here. We also have Emmanuella Nnadi. Chiagozie is 15. Emmanuella is 12 years old. And these contestants have just debated that corporal punishment should be criminalized. Lagos, if you have thoughts, share them with us on Facebook. Nigeria Info 99.3. We're streaming live there. So you can actually watch the debate and listen if you would like to do that. If you cannot watch at the moment, you can always catch up later on Wazobia Max TV. That's channel 259 on DSTV and UHF 57 on terrestrial TV. Now, remember that we're judging this debate by number, quality, and originality of unique points made, clarity of thought and eloquence of presentation, number of opponents' points addressed, the strength of your rebuttal of each point. Which brings us to the rebuttal round. This time we're going to start with the opposer. Chiagozie, your time starts now.
My dear opponents, you mentioned IQ. Really? IQ? What does corporal punishment have to do with diminishing IQ? Normally, on a normal basis, corporal punishment helps you to correct. Remember, there's a difference between corporal punishment and abuse. It is meant to correct your brain. If you are told to do an assignment and you don't do it, your teacher punishes you and makes you understand, okay, if I don't do my assignments, I will get punished. Corporal punishment develops the brain according to science. Mark it, take it or leave it. You also mentioned low self-esteem. Do you know that corporal punishment grooms children to set boundaries for them that make them grow more in life? Let's take Nigeria, for example. Over the 2 million Nigerians that live in North America, 1.8 million of them were interviewed. And all these people are successful people, generating 6.1% of our GDP. That is 26.63 billion dollars in amount. Don't you know this is a plus for Nigeria? When they were interviewed, they made it clear that it is the upbringing that they got in Nigeria from corporal punishment and hard punishment that made them go this far in life. Let's move to increased aggression. One of the best armies in the world, the US Army, are trained by corporal punishment, and yet they are not aggressive. It is just depending on the mindset we have. Corporal punishment by Elizabeth Geshoff made it clear that it is administered by parents, and we have to look at it from the parents' angle. How frequently they use it, how forcefully they administer it, how emotionally aroused when they do it, and whether they mix it with other techniques. I didn't say that corporal punishment cannot be mixed with other techniques. What I'm talking about here is that in a child's life, whether as a kid or as an adult, there will be times that you need to be corrected by corporal punishment. You said it is an ineffective way. Do you believe? Let's come to a very normal basis here. My moderator, you and I. There will definitely be a time in your life that you were flogged by your parents. Maybe because you did something. I am a living testimony to that. My parents flogged me for what I do, and it's because I did it. And I received that. I am corrected once and for all. And I would like to close by saying that the government should not criminalize corporal punishment, but should just curb it, mix it with other methods. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right. Give you a few seconds there. So I'm also going to give you my a few seconds. Thank you very much, Chiagozie. Emmanuella, the stage is yours.
Spare the rod and spoil the child. Do you know that the scripture says that parents should not also provoke their children, because this is also a sin? The rod used in that context does not literally mean that sticks or irons or belt or any dangerous weapon should be used on that children. What this rod is meaning is that words of advice, word of encouragement, and even word of admonishment. You said rebellious. Do you like, Chiagozie, I would love to ask you one question. Would you like if a teacher inflict or your parent inflicts a life pain on you, or something, or a scar that you never want to ever remember any past deed again? It also allows timidity to set in when those children remember what they did and their past experiences, and this also traumatizes them. Moral discipline. How many children do you think that after corporal punishment have been implemented on them, that their lives have changed for the better? The answer to this question is either none or few. Because while implementing this, it gives them a very bad state of mind. You said it does not degrade their IQ. How did you know that? Because statistics prove that 109,000 students are brutalized and beaten daily by their teachers in schools, or even their caregivers also brutalize them, and drastically rising from that rate to 163,333 students on a daily basis, rising from the 2011 till now, which is now 10 years. Of course, corporal punishment should be abolished. Increased aggression. Do you know that when a teacher is flogging a child, that teacher will be very anxious, anxiety sets in, aggression sets in, antisocial behavior sets in, which leads to vandalism, which leads to poor school attention, which leads to poor increased span in class. Attentiveness will not be there. Do you also know that corporal punishment has also led a girl named Onyinye Abariwe, a 14-year-old student in Imo State, losing her sight because of corporal punishment? Why? Just for coming late to school. Petty things are being treated like they fell the whole of the world on their head. No. I strongly disagree, because corporal punishment is not a way of correcting children. I hope with this content point of mind, I'll be able to brain feed you and not to brainwash you that corporal punishment should be criminalized. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, well done. Lagos, we're streaming live on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. We're also streaming live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. My debaters have made very interesting points today. They have marshaled their points, but I always say that there can only be one. And so we're going to collate the results and we're going to see who has won this round and who has made it into our final semi-final spot. You'll be joining Tamvita Koshik, you'll be joining Emmanuel Busari, you'll be joining Uchechukwu Golding in the semi-finals. Let me remind you again that obiwizi.com has gifts lined up for the final 3 students standing by November 25th, 2020. A big thank you to obiwizi.com. You can visit their branches in Ikeja, in Lekki, in Abuja. Their website is, you guessed it, obiwizi.com. Obiwizi is spelled OBIWEZY.com, and you can visit their website, and of course you can check out all of the things that they have, some of which will be going to my students next week, Thursday. All right, it's time for results. The results are in. Let's take a look. Let's see how you both did. In the presentation round, Emmanuella, as the supporter, scored 7 points. Chiagozie scored 4 points. Presentation style, Emmanuella scored 3 points. Chiagozie scored 5 points. During the rebuttal round, Emmanuella scored 3 points. Chiagozie scored 1 point. During the rebuttal, as far as your styles were concerned, Emmanuella scored 2 points. Chiagozie scored 4 points. With 1 point only, Emmanuella Nnadi moves on to the semi-final match. Congratulations to you, Emmanuella. Well done. Thank you both for a wonderful debate. But I keep saying that there can only be one winner. Chiagozie, thank you so much for your time. You put up a fantastic fight. You put up a stunning fight. Well done. Good job. We're going to do this again sometime soon, and I hope that we see you. The next the next tournament will start in March. So I hope that you apply, and I hope that you get in. But congratulations to both of you. Well done. Good job. Well done.